Hey now. What's up, everybody? Everybody being nobody that's in here yet, but that's okay. Hopefully, people show up today, but I just wanted to show off kind of what I'm working with. I know I showed this in, I think, Laz's show, or maybe it was Johnny's show. I think it was Laz's show. And my bird's flapping around back there. This is the new baby. It's the Heritage Gold Top H150 Standard. Absolutely killer guitar. Really digging it. Looks like I put a new crack on the finish. That's okay. Oh shoot. Oh, some of those are just my hairs. Hey, what's up, Ryan? How you doing, man? I got a new camera, so it's not so grainy. I hope it. Hope that helps. Um, but yeah, I wanted to show off what I'm doing right now. Oh, really? Okay. Thanks, man. Can you hear the guitar at all? How's the guitar? Is the guitar coming through okay or no? What up, Gear Junkie? Check one, check. Is that? Does that help or hurt? Maybe this? Well, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Except I know my guitar is gonna get louder because I'm gonna put in my boost. This is really what I wanted to show off today. So right now, I have a bunch of pedals on the floor, but the signal chain currently is just the guitar into my compressor, into my. I got a new JHS Pink Panther delay that I'm running that through into the Tweed Blues Junior. So the Tweed Blues Junior is what's really giving all the crunch right now because it's just a compressor and delay in front. So all the distortion and all that's coming from just the amp right now. But what I'm going to do is put in a boost pedal. It's just a clean boost with a like a little JFET preamp circuit in it, and watch how it just comes to life. Windows recording volume. So I'm just using StreamYard, and it's supposed to be easier, but I always seem to have problems on it. Because I know if I do that, my volume will pick back up. I know that. It's when I turn the echo cancellation on, for some reason the volume is normal. But when I turn off the echo cancellation so the guitar comes through better, the voice doesn't come through the same. And I don't know really why that is. So you guys could probably hear me a lot better now. So that's good. But I don't know how the guitar sounds. Is that better? All right, cool. So let me do this boost pedal. So that's you guys have been hearing just like I said, guitar into amp pretty much. Hey, Janice. Janice, just fair warning, I'm having trouble with my levels, so I hope I don't hurt your ears. I honestly can't believe I'm getting this sound out of a Blues Junior. Yeah, I guess I'll switch back and forth. I'll switch back and forth between echo cancellation when I'm not playing, so you guys could hopefully hear me better when I'm just talking. Yeah, and I got another mic too. I don't know if I should switch out the mic, but I don't think it's something to do with my setup as much as just this. Maybe I just don't know how to use StreamYard properly, or there's something I could change in the setup. I don't know. But oh, and by the way, so I got a new camera, obviously. Watch when I turn. Remember how? Okay, backlight off. Look how dark it is in here compared to. Remember the last camera I had, for whatever reason, was just totally blowing out the whole background with light. Like, I don't know why I was doing it. 'Cause look, it's dark in here. But I got to turn this light on for it to even make sense. But this is cool. This new camera's got a little adjustable light on the front. You can adjust how bright it is and stuff. It's neat. So another pedal I got is this. I got a JHS Unicorn. It's a Univibe. This is like my kind of low to middle gain sound with Keeley. What is it? The Noble Screamer, and I got it on the Noble mode. I'm just having fun now. I really wish I could keep the echo cancellation on while the guitar still sounds good, but maybe I'll have to try a different program at some point. Gear Junkie, what did you recommend earlier? Prism. I thought, okay, so I got to try Prism then. I'll try that out next time. But safe to say, I'm really digging this guitar. The neck is perfect. It's kind of in between. It's like a 59 Les Paul, really. A lot of the ones that I've... Actually, I don't think I've held a real 59. But the necks on the reissues that I've held are similar to this, where they're not as chunky as you'd think, but they still have some, chunk to them. But they're not like baseball bat, if you go play like a 2015 to 2020, somewhere, maybe to 17, somewhere in there, 15 to 17 Gibson SG. Those just standard, not the 61 reissue, just the regular standard. Those necks are super chunky, and this neck's not like that at all. And those were kind of the beginning necks. You know, even though it's a newer guitar, but those were the necks at the beginning. They were just really chunky because they're coming from classical guitars, obviously. So yeah. But yeah, I've been spending too much money on pedals lately. I got a nice JHS tremolo pedal as well. I've really been going under the JHS stuff. Their tap tempo stuff has drawn my attention. I've gotten into it. Yeah, the Univibe I think is probably the best sounding Univibe I've played through. Yeah, I don't think I've played through a better sounding Univibe. The only thing about these JHS pedals is when I'm really boosting it, like because I'm boosting 30 dB through that Katana, and 30 dB is just a little much for these pedals. They kind of overdrive themselves. Like I'll show you real quick with the tremolo pedal how it crunches up on its own. See how it does that? So using the tremolo with high gain is not really an option. As you guys can hear it, it's just like the pedal just can't take it. So if I were to do that, I would have to figure out a way to like do a dual input kind of thing, or I don't know if it's not wet dry, but it's I think it's called dual input, where you have you run only the wet effects through one signal, and then the overdrive effects through the other signal, and combine them before they go to the amp. What, Janice? Tell us a story. What happened? What happened? I'll play some more while you tell us a story. Whatever makes you happy, Janice. I appreciate you love hanging out with us and, all that kind of stuff. That's great. I have a good time on here too, no doubt. no doubt. I really enjoyed Johnny's live stream yesterday over at Laz's place, where they actually jammed together for a while. That was cool. They need to do that more often. That was really cool. I want to do a clean sound so I could show off that tremolo pedal because it sounds really, really good. But the Fender being a one-channel amp, it's like I'd have to switch things. I don't want to switch things. I like the way it sounds when it's driven. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, it's because I have the echo cancellation on still. I didn't turn it off for that part. I was just goofing around. Just doing the thing where you turn the channel selector switch into a kill switch, turning off one of the volumes, you know. You know the thing. It's not how Buckethead does it, but that's kind of a Buckethead thing. Oh, that's cool. Janice, so what I'm doing is so on a Les Paul. Wait, hang on. All right, so on a Les Paul, there's 2 volumes, 2 tones. So 2 volumes in the front, 2 tone. So, and this channel selector selects between the 2 of them. And when you turn one volume all the way off, let's go. This one all the way off and this one all the way on. So when you turn it into the bridge position, there's no sound. But then when you click it onto the neck position, there's sound. So what I was doing is just like hammering on a note. Just some fun. Buckethead does that kind of stuff all the time with the kill switch that he has on his guitar. That's like how he makes a lot of his sounds. And honestly, no, I'm not going to say that. But yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. I see what you're saying, Gear Junkie. I didn't get it at first, but that I get it now. That makes sense. Yeah, that would be cool. There's definitely smarter ways to have things hooked up than the way I do. I'm just going straight into the interface with one mic. I got an SM57 on the Blues Junior, pretty much dead center, just a little off the front cone, just a little bit, and off to the side of the cone, I should say. And just got this vocal mic hooked up straight into the interface, so it's very, very basic. I'll have to get some tips from you guys on how to set that up. Okay, cool. I'll look it up. I'll check it out for sure. Let me go. Let me show you guys the pedals I've been playing with because I feel like everybody's bored of my playing. I'm not bored of it, but I just don't have much else to. It's just I would just end up playing some of the same stuff again, you know. So let me do that. Give me 1 second. Okay. So these are the two pedals that really helped me get my sound today. This Katana. There you go. Keeley Katana dual effect Class A clean boost. And I had this knob pulled out here. So can you read that? It says pull out for 30 dB boost. Michael Freyer Jr. Okay. Freyer. I don't know how to say that. I'm terrible. I'm not good at English. But yeah, see the knob pulls out here. That gives you the 30 dB boost that I was doing into the front of the amp. That was giving me that really intense distortion. I wouldn't have believed that a clean boost would be the answer for me to get good distortion. You know, I thought clean boosts were silly. I thought they were kind of a waste. That was totally wrong. But then there's this. JHS Pink Panther. This is the lawsuit edition. They didn't actually sue them, but they threatened to. They sent them a letter in the mail saying, hey, don't make this anymore or else. So now this is called the Lucky Cat. They have it on the roster still. There we go. I just needed to be closer. JHS Pink Panther. And as you can see, it has the Pink Panther artistry there on the front, on the pink sparkle. So there is modulation. Yeah, 30 dB is ridiculous. 30 dB is ridiculous. It's 3 times, basically. I mean, well, no, it's actually more than that. It's basically three times. Yeah, I've become a big fan of JHS's stuff too. I'll show you the Univibe I'm using too. So it's just JHS pedal number 1. I'm just dismantling my pedal board, but that's okay. JHS Unicorn V2. That's the Univibe, and the Univibe does kind of the same thing as the it's not the same, but the tremolo pedal. I was showing you how it kind of just doesn't work with all that signal coming through. This does that just a little bit, but not nearly as much. It's totally usable still, which is cool. I actually had that set up to boost, which I don't need to. I still don't fully understand what the dry wet thing does. I don't know if the wet you can see in the middle there's a dry wet toggle switch. If I can get that to focus. See that dry wet toggle switch there? I think what it does is when it's on the wet side, I want to say it's fully converting the signal. Whereas on the dry side, it's keeping the main signal intact and just adding on the Univibe sound. I think that's what's going on, but I could be wrong. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know which ones you're talking about, Gear Junkie. Yeah, those are great. Yeah, the fuzz is really fun. I've played through that one. It's like a fuzz face. Yeah, it's kind of a fuzz face. It's cool. I don't remember what the switch does. I remember there's a little dip switch on it that does something. I don't know if it affects the gain or what. But yeah, no, JHS makes great stuff. They really do. And what sold me on them, truthfully, big time, was this Univibe pedal. This thing sold me on these other dual, because the other ones that I've actually bought another one too, but I gave it to my low boost. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but I actually bought the Emperor version 2, which is the same enclosure, but it has the penguin on the front. It's the chorus and vibrato pedal. But I gave that to my tech. Well, I sold it to my tech. It wasn't a gift. He's going to exchange for some work and some cash as well. So a good deal for both of us because he was looking for a chorus pedal. And I got it for a really good deal. So that's why we ended up making that work. But while I'm at it, so the third one that I still have is that JHS Kodiak. Come on. Come on. Well, you can see it. Focus. Focus. I don't know why it's not focusing. Anyway, this one's got a bear on the front. It's cool. You'd think with a bear on the front, it'd be able to handle some higher gain, but that's okay. See, I'm really addicted to these dual JHS pedals right now. My favorite being, I think, the Pink Panther. So I've wanted that since it came out. I've wanted that Pink Panther forever. Because even when it first came out, I was like, oh, Pink Panther, that's cool. I used to watch that as a kid, And then they discontinued it right away because of that. And I was like, oh, shoot. Now I'm never going to be able to get one. And I finally got one. Yeah, I'll have to pop over and subscribe to him. Let me do that. Let me do that. Oh, my keyboard is all hidden. Okay. Cool. I just subscribed to him too. That's what I just wasted your guys' time watching me do. But yeah, and dude, this Heritage has really got me. What's up, Blackjack? I was just showing off all my stuff and jamming and all that kind of stuff. I'm probably gonna have to hook everything back up so I can end the show on some playing. God. Yeah, I think you guys all know me in the chat. Everybody that's here knows my name's Brent. You guys are welcome to call me that. You don't have to call me anything else if you don't want to. Gubson. Screw Dick Gibsons. Yeah, no, I'm really digging this thing. I like Gibsons too, don't get me wrong, but this thing is awesome. And to think, if I were to have a gold top Gibson, I would be into it at least $2,000 minimum, so the fact that I got this for less is great, and it's every bit of Les Paul as anything else. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. That'll about do it, huh? So yeah, this the Pink Panther, one thing that's cool about it is it has this little switch on the side that you can switch between. Let's see if it'll actually. I don't know why it's not focusing. It was earlier, you know? But it says digital or tape. So you can set it to just a clear digital sound or it emulates a tape sound. That's the point. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Heritage, I mean, it's in the same factory. And yeah, I mean, Gibson didn't bring all the equipment with them. They brought some things, but not all of it. And yeah, and they obviously didn't bring all the employees either. And those guys were the ones, you know, making some of those 59 Gibsons that everybody loves, you know, now. um, Man, my pedal board's really dismantled now. Yeah, I'll have to do a separate video where I play a little cleaner and show off this tremolo pedal because it sounds really good. It reminds me of my dad's friend has a early '60s brown face. Is it '60s? I think it's '60s. It's a brown face, so I think it's '62. It's a brown face Princeton, and this tremolo does it. It sounds just like that '62 Princeton, which is impressive because that's kind of like the tremolo sound everybody's after, and JHS nailed it with this pedal. But like I said, the only issue I've had with it so far is they just won't take the amount of gain I'm pushing through it. The signal being as amplified as it is, this thing is just like doesn't know what to do with it. But when it's clean, doing that kind of thing, it sounds really good. It sounds, like I said, just like a Princeton reverb. I like this guy. You see his diamond eyes. Has modulation on there too. I didn't show that off yet. There's modulation 1 and 2. The toggle switch goes either down or up. So it's centered right now, so that's on modulation 1. Obviously, flip it up for 2. Modulation 2 so far is almost unusable. It's like really washy. It's really warbly. But modulation 1 is really nice and subtle, and I like it. One thing I just realized is this foot switch is different than the other ones. These are soft click, but this just show you here. Oops. Wish I could do that. See, the foot switches on the Unicorn are both kind of bigger size, whereas the Pink Panther has a smaller size foot switch for the tap tempo. Just notice that. And this little guy here is not to be underestimated. Keeley Compressor Mini. I had that on the whole time. Sounds killer. It sounds really good. It's a tiny little thing. Itty bitty little pedal. This is number 61 too. That's cool. It's an early production, fairly early production one. Not that matters. I'm sure the new ones are great too, but it's just kind of, it's like, oh, that's neat. Just notice that. Yeah, I had this on the whole time, and I think it sounds great to me in the room anyway. Hopefully, it sounds good on your guys' end too. If that SM57 isn't cutting it, I mean, it's been the industry standard for so long. I figured it'd be okay, but if it's not cutting it for YouTube or whatever, maybe I'll figure out something else. I still think the one pedal that'll truly never leave my board, though, as much as I love all these pedals and I don't want them to leave the board, one thing that's never going to leave is my tuner. Little dirty Peterson Mini. These things are great. Great. Really great. Buffered, non-buffered, true bypass, or buffered, whichever you want. Tunes your guitar perfectly. Easy display to see, to read. To It's highly recommend. This is a pedal I can't. There's not a better tuner on the market, in my opinion. There's ones that might look a little better, look a little cooler. Do There's like the Canvas one that you could put different graphics on or whatever. But just as a functioning tuner, top jacks on a small little case like this, it just fits anywhere on your pedal board. There's different settings, different ways you can do it. It's great, really great. Best $100 I've spent in a while. That's really it. The Blues Junior, I should say it's a tweed Blues Junior. It's not just a regular, standard Blues Junior. It's a tweed version. So those are known to break up a little more and have a little more anger to them. So that could explain some of the tones I'm getting out of it. But yeah. So it has the Jensen speaker in it as opposed to the Fender speaker, which sounds much better. Obviously, the Jensen sounds really good in the room. Like I said, I hope it sounds good to you guys across the way there, from wherever you guys are listening from. Yeah, I went to the Starving Musician the other day with Laz. That was a lot of fun. Had some good Thai food beforehand. That was great. I picked up a guitar stand and a new microphone, which you guys might have seen on Laz's stream. And Laz picked up a bunch of pedals and stuff that they were just on such a good deal, like they were selling brand new pedals for the used prices, essentially, so it was hard for Laz to pass up, and I don't blame him. If I had the extra money, I would have done it too. But and I'm using the Gator cases. Gator cases. They make a power supply now for pedals, and I really think it's excellent. It uses a PCIe, so it's properly grounded, and they're all, obviously, what's it called? Isolated. So it gets clean power to all your pedals, and they're not expensive. For like $100 and some bucks, for an 8 power supply. That's really good. Like the Voodoo Labs ones for 8 pedals, it's going to cost you like $250. So to get one for 120 or whatever is a really good deal. They are made in China, but it's made well, I would say. This thing's also made in China. I would say it's made well as well. Strobostomp Mini. I don't know why it's not focusing now. Focus. Your focus needs more focus. Does anybody know that movie that's from? Your focus needs more focus. One of my favorite lines in any movie. Not necessarily my favorite movie, but just my favorite line. Oh, and I did have the reverb turned all the way up on the Blues Junior during that whole time, as I like the space it gives me. Hey, what's up, Martin? Cheers, dude. So I had the reverb pretty much cranked the whole time on that on the Blues Junior, just to give it a little space, a little splashiness, just to wake it up a little bit. Yeah, it's cool. All right, I think I'm going to take a quick smoke break here, and then I think I'll end on I'll put my pedal board back together real quick, and it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's a great song. And when I get home to you, I feel all right. I feel all right. What's up, Hubble Roadie? Does anybody have any like? Have you guys had a new guitar day or new gear day recently? Anybody got some new stuff they've been having fun with? This is my bag of tobacco, some locally grown organic stuff. I would do it. I would totally do that with those guys, especially with those guys. That'd be great. Ooh, baby, hell yeah, Martin, that's awesome. I keep starting to say L&M, but I know you're Martin. Um, awesome, dude. It was looking good before. I don't know what else you did to it. I remember seeing it when you talked about it on Laz's show. I saw it and it looked really good. Um, I think I even saw a video on it or something. I saw something on YouTube about it. Right on, Martin. That's good to hear. I'll tune in for that for sure. And Gear Junkie, that's awesome, dude. That's not easy starting a charity and um, or running one or any of that. It's a noble thing, dude. That's cool. Yeah, my version of charity is just working my ass off whenever I work for someone. You know, I could just skate by and do the minimum effort to get by, but I always try to go above and beyond for people when I can. Um, and that's my form of just it's just tobacco. It's not even weed. It's it's really good tobacco though. I'm not gonna lie. That's what's up, Gear Junkie. That is awesome. That is couldn't agree more. My situation is I have to find that balance because I have to elevate myself in order to elevate other people as well, so I do need to focus on myself and get myself into a better situation in all aspects, but that doesn't mean you stop helping people. Yeah, I wish I were a better teacher. I could teach people the way I play guitar, but I don't think it's necessarily the best way to play guitar. I have fun with it, and maybe that's the point. But I don't know, because my teacher that I had taught me a few little tricks right off the bat and just showed me like how different patterns mix in with each other and how they all relate, and it just clicked for me when I was a little kid, and I've just been running with that. And maybe that's an important piece of information to share. Maybe I should share that. Um, oh, cool, dude. Man, I need to play more. I play as much as I can, but I wish I lived in the Bay Area. Honestly, I'd go jam at Laz's place all the time. That'd be cool. It's just like 30-40 bucks every time I go to Laz's place, drive there and back, and it adds up. You know, Laz is always cool though. Last time he paid for my lunch because I drove out there, and I didn't expect him to do that for me at all. It was just a nice gesture for spending my money and time to go out there and stuff. But like I said, he didn't have to do that at all. He's just a good dude like that. And we bought our tickets for the show on Monday, the Sammy Hagar show, I'll call it, with yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I was at a really low point about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I finally found some medication that helped me, and just taking things one day at a time, and really taking steps to help myself, and not just because my problem is I would always try to help people to the point where I'd spread myself too thin. I think that's why Laz and I get along so well, is we both are kind of that way, where we'll spread ourselves a little thin in order to try to accommodate everybody, but it's not always ideal for the person doing that. Even though I'm not going to ever stop doing that, it's just who I am, and I just I do love seeing people um, just enjoy life, So if I could help someone do that, then hell yeah. Oh, palm mute, yeah, that's important. But yeah, there's a whole the way that I look at guitar is in patterns, and that's why chords are somewhat difficult for me, because they go outside of those patterns sometimes, but not usually, which is great, which is easy. Yeah, man. I feel like that's why I mentioned. So if you guys heard me mention last time on Laz's channel, get in where you fit in kind of thing, is that was my experience with music. I loved music from the start, but I didn't realize how much it was going to connect me with other people. I thought it was my own personal kind of, I just love music, and I love the way things that it makes me feel, makes me do, whatever. I just love it. So I never thought that, I thought it was just my own thing. No, exactly. That's what I mean. But sometimes the chords can, like when you add an extra note that's not inside the scale, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as a scale. Um, yeah, it's basically what helped me the most was learning the association between minor and major, and learning that that learning the minors of a major and the majors of a minor, and learning what scales go together. um, that just unlocked the whole fretboard for me, because then you could just move those scales over, and the scales are slightly different in some places, but not always. Sometimes there's a mode for everything. Let's put it that way. You can play a lot of the same patterns, and it'll be a different mode in a different key, but it'll work. And but that's when it becomes tricky, playing with other people and playing with you got to really know your keys and know what key you're in. And some people don't know that, and I've gone to jams where they're like, okay, this is an E, and then we start jamming, I'm like, this is in D or D minor rather. But I don't know, it's just you just go with it. It's just all, you just try to have fun with it. And yeah, Janice, go send send Johnny Bean a tweet saying that me, him, and Laz should start a band, and I'll play, I'll sing, and I'll play a little guitar when needed. I'll play a solo here and there or something. I'd be all about that. That'd be fun. I've never been in a real band. I've just been in like bands that would get together and jam and play here and there, but nothing like, it was just high school band stuff, really. That's really what it came down to. It was just high school friends getting together and jamming and stuff, which is great. But I would love to play regular shows. That'd be awesome. I think that's the next step for my guitar playing. What I need to do to get better is just play out with people regularly. I think that's really what I need to do. And it's not easy. It's not easy to find like-minded people that are, I mean, look at us. We're all, kind of like-minded people, but we're all spread out all over the country. So it's like, or all over the world, rather. Sorry, not just the country, the world. So it's like not always easy to find those connections right around the corner from you to make that work. And that's what's interesting. Like, you see the guys that from England, all the Jeff Becks and the Eric Claptons of the world. They all came from one little spot in England. Like, what are the chances of that? But some of it has to do with available technology, and what they were kind of at the beginning of the front of the curve, and so they got to mess with things first. And I don't know, there's a whole thing to it, but it's and yeah, okay, so Martin, back to the chord thing. Like I learned basic chord progressions in every key, but when it comes to making things interesting is where I fall short. Because like I can do a basic chord progression all day long, but it's like you hear some chord progressions, you're like, ooh, that has something different to it. That's something. It's not just your typical chord progression, and that's where I struggle is finding the really interesting, really um. There, the times I find an interesting chord where I'm like, oh yeah, that can be something. It's just few and far between. I find way more licks and riffs than I do chords, and that's just I think because of the way I play more so than anything else. Hey man, honestly, the worst insult that I've ever gotten is, or whatever. What I took the hardest was when someone insulted my playing. Someone told me I sucked or whatever. Man, that hurt. That was a hard thing. So it's like having this no judgment community, like you're talking about, Gear Junkie, is really important because you can discourage someone really quick. I mean, I've been playing my whole life, and I had someone I really respect tell me I haven't gotten any better in the last 10 years, and I was bawling my eyes out. I was heartbroken. I was like, damn, I'm really just stagnant, and it just. But you got to take that criticism at the same time and do what you can with it. Try to make it constructive, but man, it's not fun. It's not fun. So the fact we have this is a great thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I'm going to smoke some of the fun stuff. Yeah, I always try to have empathy, Gear Junkie, and so even when someone comes at me hard and from an angle I don't necessarily like, and they do sometimes take the fun away, um, they the person I'll just speak on the person that did that to me. It came from their deep love of music. It didn't come from wanting to criticize me. It just came from their deep love of music and just feeling like I'm not fully expressing myself in the way that I could, and that because truth be told, he thinks that I could be as good as anybody out there, and I think that's where that's coming from. He thinks I could be the next, Roy Clark Jr. or whatever on guitar, and I'm just myself, and so it came from a place of love. He didn't mean it to hurt me like that, but it was just like when it came down to it, yeah, I didn't want to hear that I sound the same. I thought I was getting better. Now it was hard to hear that I'm just kind of stagnant. But I'm content with the way I play. I like the way I play. I like my sounds that I get, and I have fun with it. So it is what it is. Um, that was the only time I considered quitting, though. I'll say that. That was one of the few times where it's just like, man, should I just hang up guitar and just pursue money and, and try to get a better life and just focus on that? But I love guitar too much. Can't put it down. Don't want to put it down. I have too much fun with it, and yeah, at the end of the day, I like the way I sound. So I hope people enjoy my playing. Though I don't want to be playing and people are like, oh, this guy's fucking hard to listen to. It's not a good feeling. So I want to keep improving too. Yeah, and now let's read this. For example, C major scales, major pentatonics of C, F, and G, and the minor pentatonics D, E, and A, which are the same pentatonic, sort of different reference. Yeah, yeah, and that goes back to the say kind of what I was saying earlier about the minors and majors of the same scale, and how, like, for instance, E minor is the same as G major. Essentially, they're not different keys; they're in the same key together, and I can't. I'm not good at naming them off the top of my head, but I know that's one for sure. Is that E minor is the minor of G. Um, see, A minor would be D. So that'd be the minor of C, right? So A minor would be the minor of C. So that must mean D minor is the minor of G. No, it's not though. A minor is C major. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And E minor is it B minor? But E minor is the same as G major. I should just pick up my guitar and look instead of pointing at it like a dummy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, D minor is F. Right, right. I got it right. I just question. I keep double guessing myself. Now, one thing I'm considering with this guitar is getting strap locks because it's heavy, and I mean heavy for a guitar, not heavy for a Les Paul. Are you talking? What do you got to say? You got something to say? No. Um. So, hey, take care, Martin. You guys have a good jam, man. If you're jamming too, I don't know, but you guys have a good one, man. Sounds like fun. I'm jealous. Beep. My fingers hurt. I've been playing all morning. That's why I decided to go live. I was sitting here jamming by myself, and I was like, I should just go live and show everybody what I'm working with right now. I've been doing a lot less lives, but I do hope to do more now that I have this camera that I like. I feel like it looks good, and hopefully I keep figuring out a better way to set up my stuff so it keeps sounding good and sounds better and better, hopefully. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here, guys. It's been over an hour. My fingers hurt, and I don't want to play out anymore. I was planning on playing this out, but that required me hooking everything back up and then playing, and my fingers are hurting. So I'm just like, nah, nah. So it is what it is. All right, you guys rock. Martin, come in here more often, and well, not more often. You're in here every time I'm live, but come. We need to talk music more often because I like talking music, and I need to learn more theory. So talking theory is good. I want to do more of that. So I know you just said you left, but hopefully you see this somehow. All right, take care, you guys. You guys rock. I'll see you guys later.